Well, hello everyone. My name's Jude Hennessy, and I'm really, really pleased to be interviewing Dr Jodi Steel as excitement builds and as we get closer and closer to the commencement of Plenary Council for the Australian Catholic Church. It's the first in 84 years. It's going to be running from the 3rd to the 10th of October, and there are around 280 members who are embarking upon this really important process of discernment. In doing so, they're going to focus on 6 themes that have been developed from the responses of, quite incredibly, over 220,000 people. And Jodi was an integral part of our listening process in the Diocese of Wollongong, and there were so many people that have contributed to that in individual parishes and in deaneries and lots of regions around Wollongong. And Jodi is one of the 3 Wollongong diocesan lay members chosen for the council. So, Jodi, thanks so much for having this quick chat with me today.
Oh, you're welcome, Jude. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you. Well, Jodi, to kick us off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Look, I have a professional background that might be a bit surprising to people to be chosen as a plenary member. So I started my professional life as an engineer, communication systems engineer.
Okay.
And I was in the Air Force. And then, I had a really good spiritual development and formation in a sense, in a professional sense, from the military chaplains, which was a really, really amazing experience.
Wow, okay.
Very much practical faith in action.
Yep.
And then I left the Air Force and I went into academia and I got a PhD in electronics and then moved into the management of technology. So taking technology from the research phase out into application, into solving problems in the world.
Yeah, okay.
And so that might seem a little bit, surprising to people. But the experiences that I had that I bring to the Plenary Council is about being able to listen to lots of different experiences, because engineers often work in teams, and certainly in the kind of work I did, we often were pulling different skill sets together, different opinions together, different perspectives, really deeply understanding the challenges that we faced, and a lot of experience in change management, which is essentially what the Plenary Council is about. It's a big change management process.
Yeah.
But as I alluded to with talking about the military chaplains, my faith was an integral part of it all the way along, through my professional life and also through my personal life. And I have 2 teenagers, and as a family, we've had the sort of ups and downs that families have, and some other, big health challenges, and my faith has carried me through all of that, and the faith community as well. That's super, super important.
Yeah. Well, that's an amazing background and an amazing skill set that I think will just be an incredible asset and contribution to Plenary Council. How do you feel? How do you feel about having been chosen to be part of the plenary session, given that it is so historic and that it's come at a really critical juncture in the history of the Church in Australia?
Yeah, look, when you put it like that, it just feels really daunting. And I'm so glad we got the Spirit on our side.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it just would feel too much.
Yep.
One of the things that's been inspiring me the last couple of months, I was doing some training a couple of months ago, and this saying came up, and it's just stuck with me so much, and I'd like to share that with you.
Yeah.
And it's a saying by a medical doctor in the US called Rachel Naomi Remen. I wrote down her name. But the saying is that helping, fixing, and serving are 3 different ways of seeing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which is not kind of what you think. So helping sees life as weak. Fixing sees life as broken, and as an engineer, we've got to always be conscious of not
fixing
going
stuff.
that way,
Yeah,
not fixing stuff, because we don't see life as broken.
Okay.
But serving sees life as whole.
Right, okay.
And to me, it's just so profound and so beautiful. And of course, that's where compassion comes in, where we are part of the suffering of the world. We're part of whatever somebody is going through that we are serving. It's about all of us. We're all connected.
Yeah.
And it's just so, it's challenging and it's inspiring all at the same time.
That is really profound, really powerful. And with without saying too much about it, actually says a lot about the heart that you're bringing to this whole process, which is in itself really powerful. So thanks for sharing that. Hey, so many things you could say about this, but, you know, trying to put it in a nutshell for us, what do you hope are some of the fruits that come out of Plenary Council?
So you know, there's kind of different layers that I'm thinking of about the fruits. So at a practical level, we've been tasked as members of this assembly to, at the end of the assembly, come up with some concrete suggestions for addressing the items that are on the agenda, and then to be able to work on those for the intervening period to the next assembly. So we really want to be identifying some concrete actions that we can take. At a different level, I'm really hoping that we can start practicing different ways of being church and being church to each other in the ways that we listen to each other. And, you know, we've been asked to speak boldly and listen humbly. And that's lovely because, you know, when you listen humbly, you know that you don't have all the answers and that the answers have to come from working together and working with the Spirit. But I also, you know, think that we need to be able to listen boldly as well, which means that we need to be able to open our hearts. And that can be so hard. It can be really courageous to sit and listen to something that is very different from your own perspective. And so, you know, that's one of the things I pray for, that the Spirit is with me in courage and openness to do that. Because if we're able to start learning how to do that together, and we'll make mistakes, you know, but if we can have that, hold each other in positive regard and try and work through this, and even maybe a bit of good humour so we can laugh when we really muck things up, you know, with each other, but try and do that so that permeates into the church, because that'll carry us through into implementing any concrete changes, but other things that come up along the way. And that, you know, that's what I hope the Spirit, you know, the real fruits of this will be, that spirit of listening.
Well, that's probably a good place to finish, Jodi. And for me, you've just named the humanity that's going to be part of this process, and the perspectives that are going to be part of this process, all needed to be drawn together, to be welded together in the Spirit. And from our perspective, thanks for first of all telling us a little bit about yourself and sharing those perspectives. But be assured in this process that we're praying for you, that people right around the Diocese of Wollongong are going to be praying for you and for all the members of this Plenary Council. Good on you. Thanks, Jodi.
Thanks, Jude. Really grateful for everybody's prayers. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Good on you.